stop is a brand new ride. From glassware finds to home decor, you never know what's in store. Texas Hall, Texas Hall, Texas Hall, Texas Hall, Texas Hall. Finding treasures big and small. Texas Hall, Texas Hall, Texas Hall, Texas Hall, Texas Hall, Texas Hall, Texas Hall. Vintage vibes, we want it all. Texas Hall, Texas Hall, Texas Hall. So come along, don't miss the all. Riding with Katie on a Texas Hall.
Hey guys, it is Katie from Six Shooter Charlie, and this is part 2 of the big Texas estate haul number 2. So hopefully that's not confusing, but this was a huge haul for this estate. So I broke it up into 2 different parts because it was getting real long, but there's so much great stuff that I still want to keep showing you, everything that I picked up. So let's not wait. Let's go ahead and just jump right in. So I got this. Everybody loves a basket, and I thought this one was really cool. Lots of structure, and it also has this divider in here. And I thought that was really just kind of neat. And it just is like this chunky, large size. So everybody loves a basket. I picked that up, and also at the sale, it helped because I started shoving things in the basket that I wanted to buy. So a few things that I shoved in that basket is a beautiful Wexford vase. I sell all kinds of just like little bud vases like this all the time. I got that one, and then I got a slightly shorter one, and super, super cute. These are easy sales. People love to use them in different displays and centerpieces. And I have a customer that was talking about how she is having a baby shower, and she is using things like that for the centerpieces. So I think that is really, really cool. And then I have these. I have a set of, 6 of them, and they are marked, and it says Leonard silver plate. And I do believe that these are coasters. I could be wrong, but I've got a set of 6 of them, and pressed glass, like really pretty, like flower on the bottom, and then silver plate around the rim. Next, I keep talking about Homeco. Homeco is having a huge revolution of coming back. Homeco did go out of business, and now there's a bunch of people out there searching and looking for their things. And I thought this one was just too sweet not to get. It is a heart. Why am I losing this word? It is a heart 2-piece canister in pressed glass. And I also think that because of the way this top is shaped, you could use the bottom and you could use the top as almost like a little trinket tray. So that is a cute piece. Then I picked up these ceramic angels. It was a 2 matching ones. I have people that collect angels. I have people that collect dogs. I have people that collect frogs. So I am always on the lookout for these kinds of things. And to go with her, I have got a blue and white angel, and she is a bell. I always talk about this when I am out sourcing and looking for items, not only for my store, but online and stuff. I like to buy items that hit on all kinds of different themes of people that they collect. So like this would go with someone who collects angels, or someone who has a blue and white palette in their home, or people that collect bells. So that is something that, it hits 3 different kind of collectors. And I never really bat an eye at buying things like that, because I know I will always find a customer, well, hopefully find a customer that hits one of those 3 categories. Then I have got this beautiful pressed glass bell. I don't believe this one is marked, but I sell bells all the time. And again, someone who collects pressed glass, someone who collects bells, this would work for them. This piece right here is actually the base to this beautiful vase. This is the Vase of 100 Butterflies by May Lynn Lee, 1987, the Franklin Mint. I saw this vase and I was like, that is beautiful. And I was like, yeah, I'm buying that. And then the lady she was very, very nice. She goes, I just want to let you know that it is broken. And I'm like, oh no. And it did apparently have like 3D butterflies that were glued on to these sides right here, and the butterflies had broken off. And I was like, you know what? It's still beautiful. Someone will still love this item. So I went ahead and picked it up. And that is something I also try to integrate in my business as well. Sometimes people say I'm a little too upfront about items, but I'm like, if I know something is broken, stained, torn, has a flaw in it, I will try my best to make sure you know that before you buy it, because I have been on the other end so many times when I was buying even stuff for myself, and I get caught up in the moment and the excitement, and I buy it, and then I get it home and I'm completely devastated because it was broken or it had an issue. And I think as long as you disclose that kind of stuff, then it is up to the customer to decide if they want to buy it. Something like this, it's beautiful without those 3D butterflies on it, but the customer can make the choice. Do I want it like that, or do I want one that's not missing those butterflies? So, but it sits on this wooden base right here, so that goes together. All right, I picked up this piece here. It does need a good clean, but I saw it was unique, and it had butterflies and flowers on it. It is a music box, and it is from Yaps from 1978. And it works. It does make noise, and I mean, 1978, and it's so cool. So I had to go ahead and pick that up too. And then just like with the Wexford vases, I'm always looking for the Star of David pressed glass. This is a Star of David vase, as well as this is a Star of David vase. So I have got two. One is a tiny bit bigger than the other. I have a lot of customers that buy specifically Star of David pattern, and just like any other pattern, there's always people that collect certain patterns. This is one that I am always looking for. It's a little bit harder to find, and I just love these pieces, and they do seem to be in immaculate condition, and I think those will sell really well. So more unique vases. This is Hoosier glass, and it was a beautiful swirl, like almost like twist bud vase. Pick that up. And then, oh, here's the other vase that I really thought was cool. This is Wheaton Industries, and it's a little tiny vase, and it is painted, and it has these pine cones on it. I mean, I just thought, again, unique, fun, someone that collects green glass or like kind of like that woodland. It would look cute in like I know so many people that have done woodland animal nurseries for their babies. That would be so sweet. And then old glass. There is quite the market for old glass or unusual glass. This right here is a hand-blown piece of glass. It has this sweet little handle on it, cute little like squatty piece of glass, and then you can see all the inclusions in here on when this piece of glass was made. So, thought it was really pretty. It's unique. I love it. This reminds me of I don't know why, because it's not the exact shape, but the poison jar from Emperor's New Groove. You know, the poison for Cusco's poison. But again, I think it's like a little bud vase, but it will sell great in the store. And this is a glass globe for a light. So it usually hangs like this, and it has a keeper, a metal keeper that goes here, and a spring that goes in here, and then you screw the light bulb on, and that's what holds it all together. There are so many people out there that are repurposing these pieces of glass into other things, like little cloches, or you can use them on the sconces on the wall. You can put little fairy lights in here, and it looks so cute. I know people that do these kind of glass pieces that don't have all this like patterning on it. It's just like the clear glass, and they're putting them out for like holidays. Like they'll have like little tiny snowflakes and like a little Santa, and they'll use it as a cloche to go over it. So super cute. All right, I do have quite a few clothing items. I'm gonna try to show you those to you like rapid fire all at one time, because I'm gonna give just like an estimated value on them, and then just apply it to all of those pieces. So we're not just like individually going through and pricing out those items. There was some Western wear at this estate sale. I snapped it right up. You might have seen the boots. I think we already went through the boots, and I found a couple of belts, and always I'm looking for Western wear. There are a lot of just low quality pieces, and I usually pass those up. Like, yeah, I could probably flip them really quick, like in my whatnot shows and stuff. But when it comes to Western wear, where you want to look for things, or where you want to look, is to find pieces that are real leather, pieces that have a lot of like studding on them. There is a brand of belts. They're called BB Dakota. They're more fashion belts for Western wear, but they use Swarovski crystals, and they're these big, chunky, flashy Western wear belts, and they can sell for a lot of money. They're very expensive, so always just take a look. I stopped when I saw this one because I just thought it was really neat. This is stamped. It is 3D, and it is genuine leather. And when you look at this belt, it has studding, it has rhinestones, and then it has these pearlescent, like pearl snaps to it. And then it does have a nice, just simple buckle on it, which can be replaced with something giant and blingy if you would like. But I think this will do really well. It's also in a good size. It's a larger size. It's a size 42. So it is in a larger size. That helps out quite a bit with the market for it. And also, it's always also too to make sure that, you know, when you're going and looking for these pieces, that they are in a size like that's generally looked for. That is one thing I really learned very quickly when I started selling vintage clothes, is they're all tiny. They're all on the small side, and it's because people were smaller then. And it's sometimes harder to sell some of the vintage clothing when it's in like a US size 2 or 4. Now, not to say that that is not a regular size, but for the majority of clothes that I sell, I end up selling usually like large, extra large 2XL for women. And that's just what it is. It's reality. I'm not trying to say anything. I'm not trying to shame anybody. Like, that is just what it is. So when you're going out and looking, and if you are looking for a fast mover, you want to keep that in mind. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay, let's go on with belts. All right, this next one is a Dundee in a size 36. It is a tooled leather belt. Doesn't have a belt buckle, but still, this is a great belt. And the tool leather just is so pretty. Then this next one here, this is Nakona. This is a exception to all of my rules. This has been personalized. It says June on it. And I usually stay away from anything that is personalized, anything that is monogrammed with either a name or a company logo and stuff like that. It's so hard to sell because you're looking for that one person on the planet that wants that item that you have that has their name on it. They don't want to wear somebody else's name. I did pick this up because this is made by Nakona, and Nakona makes exceptional leather products. This is in a size 32, so it's on a little bit of the smaller side, but it is this distressed, like slate gray color with tooling on it as well. So I do think I still could sell this piece just because of the brand, the quality, the color, and the tooling. And so that's just like the one time when I start making those exceptions. Maybe it might be a long-term piece, but that's okay. I have time to wait on pieces like this. And because I have a whole inventory system, and I will take the pictures of it, I'll post it, and it'll get inventoried away, and I won't think about it until it sells. So there's that. It's not like I'm trying to like sell a vending machine and I gotta find somewhere to store it until it sells. All right, guys, this is another thing I pick up all the time. And sometimes it's not even just a resell, it's just a save an item, is crochet blankets. Or handmade quilts, or hand-done embroidery. crochet cannot be replicated by a machine. It is hand done by someone, and that person loves you if they make you a crochet blanket. These are not fast things to make, and they sat there and thought about you every second that they made this blanket. I saw this piece and went, yes, it is coming home with me. It is a beautiful square, almost like a granny square blanket, crochet blanket. I love it. It is in beautiful condition. Sometimes, or in a lot of times, when you find these crochet blankets, if it's not something that it is like a family heirloom and they've taken great care of it, you usually find them, they're dirty, they smell, they're stained, they're frayed. So I always try to save those from going to the landfill, because still somebody out there took so much time to hand make something like that. And I can't let them go to the landfill. So there is one blanket right there. Here is another one. This one also, I do believe, I haven't seen it since I sourced it. I think this one was in really good, yeah. This one, again, really immaculate condition. It is striped in all these different colors and great condition. I don't see any frays or any tears or pulls in it. That will sell really well. Because these two, that first one will sell really well to so many different customers, and customers looking for that cottage core, country core, farmhouse. This is like a striped crochet. It could go to so many different people buying crochet blankets because it's striped, and that's kind of, for me, almost a neutral. It can go with anything just because it's got all these different colors in it. It would look lovely, over a couch or even on the end of a bed. Beautiful. Okay, I want to make sure I've got all these pieces because we're going to go through clothing all at one time. All right, here is lace. I sell tons of lace in the store as runners, napkins, tablecloths. And this is another thing though, when you're looking at lace, kind of like the blankets, the napkins, the linens, any of these things, make sure you take a look at them because they've been around a long time. They've been used more than likely in a kitchen setting, a dining room setting where you can get grease on them or stains, or unfortunately if it lived in a house where they smoked or they had a lot of pets that were, on the linens and things, it can be stained, and it can be stained to a point where you cannot clean them. I have a lot of tips and tricks on how to clean some of these items, but sometimes all the magic in the world and OxyClean and boiling water won't save some of these items. But this is a table runner. Look how beautiful she is. Lace. Oh my gosh. Beautiful long table runner in white. I don't know how this survived in white because nothing in my house survives that's white. I can't even wear a white t-shirt because I inevitably will stain it. Something will get on it. But beautiful piece. All right, back that up with another runner. Look at her. She is in a butter yellow and has these tiered ends on it. So it's 1, 2, and then 3, 4 for the body. And then tiers down again. Beautiful. It would look great on a mantle, a table, a couch, I call them the behind the couch tables, the long accent tables, which I keep looking this way because I have an accent table right there and I'm trying to remember what it is they're called. And big lace doily. It's in this mauvey pink color. So beautiful, would look great as a centerpiece. I mean, heck, use this and then put a few of these pressed glass flower vases out. How cute is that? All right, this is our clothes bag. I'm gonna put it down here for just a second to show you just a few more items before we jump into clothes. Look at this wall hanging. This does have a religious scripture on here. And it also though has pheasants, and that I literally locked into the pheasants. And this is a print that is on cardboard, just like the other, the butterflies in the the Sorayco picture frames. This is on cardboard. How did this survive this long? It's in immaculate condition. I cannot find one possible thing wrong with this. And it's also got a metal cast frame to it. So this hits on like so many different levels. And again, guys, like how did this survive this long with nothing? And it's on cardboard. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. All right. I also gravitate towards anything that has its original box. It's always so much easier to sell things when you can say, I have the original box to that item. Let me get it out here. Get it all set up. All right, so this is a 24% full lead crystal tree hurricane lamp with gold plated base. It was made by the International Silver Company, and this looks like maybe 1997. So it also shows you some things like, you know, how you could use it, but it is base easily converts to candlestick holder. And I want to show you this because when I show you the hurricane lamp here, I want to be able to show you, hold on. There we go. Oh, just hit myself in the face with a box. I want to show you this. So they used a colored candle in here. So it looks like you can see the actual Christmas tree. So that would be beautiful. This right here. All right, let me show you. Let me get my wits about me because it is a crystal piece here. All right, here we go. So it is that gold plated base, very heavy. And then this is the crystal here, 24% full lead crystal. And it does have that that Christmas tree imprint in it, but it's hard to see because it's glass. But when they put, here, what if we put a green colored? There you go. You can see the Christmas tree. So I think that is so cool that you could put a different colored candle in here and it lights up and you can see the Christmas tree in there. But definitely is crystal. Crystal's got that ring to it. That's always another trick that you can do when you're in the store. If you're trying to decide, is this glass or is this crystal, you can flick the top of the piece and it will ring like that. That means it is crystal. Let me try to find something else that I can show you. No, that's another crystal piece. Doesn't help if I grab two crystal pieces. Okay, so this is glass. Hear how it thuds? That's a thud. Then listen to this. It's more of a ring. That's crystal. Now, the crystal market has kind of a little bit, but it'll always come back, just like with everything. Acid wash jeans, they were in, they were out, they were in, they were out. And for me, they never went out. So, but the crystal market will come back. It's just, everything takes time. All right, next guys, this house was chock full of wall hangings. I've already shown you a ton so far, but I want to show you all of like kind of the shelf pieces or the trinket shelves. Trinket shelves right now, hot. And especially like the older ones, the ones with hearts or geese or, you know, name an animal. So I always pick them up when I see them, but this house, I literally walked in and I was like, they're everywhere. So we're gonna run through those. I wanted to do them all together to show you them all. I don't know, did this one have a maker's mark on it? No, I don't think so. So these are like a molded plastic and they are supposed to go like in the corners of the wall, like a cased wall opening. And these are grapes on the vine. I have two of them. And they just screw right into the wall. They're really decorative. And when they were taking them off the wall, I was like, man, those are pretty. And you don't see them every day. I mean, they don't, like, no one really does that anymore with like cased openings and putting like pizzazz in the corners. So I picked those up. Okay, I'm gonna leave the last two. The biggest ones I'm gonna leave for last. All right, this right here, wall hanger. She's wooden, she has shelves, and she has hearts. How beautiful is this? I do find quite a bit of the heart shelves and these little like heart trinket shelves. I find the heart ones a little bit more easier than like the geese and some of the other like the big printing trays that everyone's using for trinket shelves. Or I know there's one that's shaped like a barn. You know, those are kind of harder to find. I do find the heart ones quite a bit, and it's beautiful. It still has its original hanger here on the back, and that'll sell real fast. Now, these are one of my favorites from the haul. The other favorite is in this box as well. It's a set of 2, and they look like stairs with the railing and the spindles, and they are meant to put trinkets on. And you put trinkets on the like the steps of the stairs, and then they have hooks here. I know a lot of people like use the hooks for like mugs or hanging like aprons off of, but what I think, if I were to keep these, which I have a set of 2, which I should not keep them, but you know, if I do keep them, what I would do is, because I collect dog like figurines and things like that, I would put dogs on there, and then I would hang the dog leashes. I think that would be so cute. And then if you got like multicolored fairy lights, you could wrap them around the railing, and then like at Christmas you could get tiny little garland and dress it up. And okay, all right, I'm going off the rails on that one, but these should sell pretty easily. These are kind of a little bit harder ones to find as well. All right, this is my second favorite find of the whole estate sale. Isn't that weird that it's these little things that I find that are my favorite, even though I found so much great stuff. I love this piece. This again is another trinket shelf, and it hangs on the wall, and you put your little trinkets on it. I love this because in the store, I actually have 2 big shelving units that look almost just like this. It has kind of the bifurcated shelf here, and these really thin, beautiful spindles. I think this is precious. I love it. And yeah, so this is the second, the staircase trinket shelf is my first favorite thing. This is my second favorite thing. Who was it? Oh, it was Martha Stewart, and she said it's a good thing, right? That was her saying. All right, this, not quite a trinket shelf. I think, you know, if you would ask anybody, it'd be more of like a spice rack. But I still think this would be a really cute trinket shelf, depending on what kind of trinkets you collect. This, you could tell, had been on the wall since the house was built. It was put on the wall and it never moved, because the second I pulled this off of the wall, you could see where it had been on the wall. But really nice, really pretty wood with really pretty patina. It does have itty bitty little, tiny little pin nails in here that just, I don't know, it's those little details. But it also had these tiny little Dutch wooden clogs that were on here, and I was like, I'm gonna leave those on there, they're so cute. And then up here, it has this little like rattan woven basket, and all of these little wooden baskets that look like acorns. And I was like, gosh, that's, again, so unique. I'm gonna leave it on there. Maybe I'll sell it that way, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll take those off and sell them separately, depending on what the customer wants. But again, easy piece. All right, we are gonna move into our 2 big mamma jammas. This piece right here. This is another wall hanger, not quite a trinket shelf, but it's huge and it could hold trinkets. Anything can hold trinkets if you put your mind to it. Really beautiful piece. I love the distress, like farmhouse barn wood that is on here. And it has the, not harvest vegetables, it has like the fruit motif that was really popular. And it has 1, 2, 3, it has 4 hooks down here. So again, you could put mugs, you could put aprons, you could put dog leashes, you could put, I mean, heck, you could even probably hang a child from this by their overalls, because it is so heavy and sturdy that once you hang it on the wall, it ain't going nowhere. And built back in the time when things were supposed to last you a long time. So it is sturdy. How cute would that be? A little kid by their overalls, like hanging there. My mind's weird. I think that would be cute. I'm sure if my mom could have when we were kids, she would have done that to me and my sister, so she would know where we were at all times and we weren't getting into trouble. Now, this last one was the hardest one for me to acquire, and I think it's going to be the first to sell. It is this beautiful trinket shelf, and it has hearts. What I love is it has all of these different sized compartments that you could put things on. So if you have tall things and short things, and then it has these little cut out hearts. So beautiful. So beautiful. Why? Story time. Katie story time. Why this was so hard for me to acquire was this was screwed into the wall, which it's supposed to be. And I told him I wanted to buy it. And she was like, great, now we got to get it off the wall. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, I don't have a screwdriver or a drill or she's like, I don't have any tools. And I was like, okay. I was like, okay, well, a man lived in this house at one point. There's got to be a toolbox somewhere, like a junk drawer, a toolbox, something. I scoured that house. I could not find a screwdriver. I was also in my mom's truck, so I did not have my truck. And my truck, I always have ratchet straps, I have contractor bags, I've got gloves. I usually have like a bottle of water in there with like some sort of like soap or something. I can wash my hands, because if you've ever gone to some garage sales, estate sale, things like that, sometimes you get stuff on your hands, and I hate that feeling. Like this feeling right now, because I touched this shelf and it's got dust on it, old dust, and it has stuck to my hand. I hate that feeling. I'm a sensory person. I don't like it. So I was like, okay, I went out, I searched the truck. I was like, there's gotta be something in here. Nothing. There was nothing that I could use to unscrew these out of the wall. So I was like, God, what can I do? Because I was not leaving this. I was not leaving this piece. I was like, if I have to squat in this house so I can figure out how to get this off the wall. I was also like, I was at that moment where I was like, I'm gonna break down and I'm gonna go drive to the nearest store, which was not close, because I was out in the middle of nowhere, Texas. I was like, I'm gonna go find the closest store. I'm gonna pay the lady for it and say, do not sell this. I'm coming back. I will go find something. To buy a screwdriver. Or I guess I could have started like going to the neighbors' houses, but you want to be careful about things like that when you are out in the middle of nowhere. You don't want to just pull up on people's property and be like, hey, my name's Katie. Do you have a screwdriver I can borrow? Because sometimes, you know, while that sounds so friendly, and I mean, look at me, you know, I look like I just need help and whatever. Sometimes you find people that are like, please get off my property. Get away from me. So you want to be careful when you are out there. That is something that I think about. I think about safety a lot. I'm a woman. I'm usually by myself. I'm a little too outgoing. I'm a little too trusting. I'm a little too like, hey, let's get to know each other. I walk into a house and like, yeah, like we're gonna be friends. And some people take advantage of that. And sometimes these sales are not what they are purported to be. Sometimes people running these sales are not good people. So I am always thinking about safety. I do a lot of things to ensure my safety, and I am always trying to be aware, situationally aware of the situation. If you were there by yourself, and because that day it was just me and the lady running the estate sale, which it was her, her family home and everything. But if she wanted to, she could have been a not good person, and I'm there by myself. And she knows that. And she knows like I came with cash because I'm there to buy things from her sale. And I have a truck with me. And God willing, your mind can spiral into the worst situation. Maybe she's not there by herself. She told you she was, and maybe you get there and that's not even the person that's supposed to be there. So guys, just be situationally aware. And if it seems weird, don't go. Like if you get there and you get the weird vibes, get out of there. Also, drop a pin where you are and send it to somebody. You have to let people know where you are, because if God forbid something happened to you, they will turn off your phone and no one will be able to track you. But that one person where you dropped your pin and said, I am here at this location, can then tell the police that is the location she was at. So they don't waste time going around and trying to, maybe she went to the mall, say this is where that person was, you go right there. That might seem a little harsh. I might have come off a little too strong on that one, but I don't care. Take care of yourself. There are bad people out there that are taking advantage of other people. And as resellers, when I get a lead on something, I might jump in my truck and go. I'm by myself most of the time. And I know this is me just announcing that I come by myself, but I do check out people on Facebook. You know, they'll tell me, oh, they're this person. You better bet your butt I am looking at their profile. I am looking at their marketplace profile. I'm looking at what they say on other people's Facebook. I'm making sure I'm, as much as I can, they're a real person. Also, when I pull up to their house, I do not just jump right out of my truck. I always give it that kind of wait, because a lot of times they'll come out of the house, and I always like them to come out of the house before I go into the house. It's just something that I do. So guys, be careful, because I know there's some of us that collect, and we will follow people to the sketchiest of places to get things that we think they have. So be aware, guys, be aware. So I then went to the truck and I was like, what can I do? What can I do? And I thought of it, my knife. Duh. So I used my knife to back out the screws that were in this shelf. They were 3-inch screws, multiple. I think there was 4, holding this shelf to the wall. I was doing everything I could to make sure that this came home with me. And I am so glad that I used my noodle and I thought of every possible thing I had and MacGyvered and, figured it out, because again, this is an amazing piece and I made sure that I wanted it because I wanted to be able to offer it to my customers, and that's that. Okay guys, I promised you clothes. This is going to be, we're gonna run out these clothes. I'm gonna show you them all, and that will be the end of this haul. I saved them all to the last. There are some great pieces in here, so I can't wait to start showing you. Again, a lot of these pieces I am going to just roll through because I'm going to put an estimated value out there because it's so hard to estimate every single piece. But if there's a special piece, I will definitely pull up a good comp on it. Now, some of this clothes I have already laundered. Here is something that I do. As a reseller, I believe it is common courtesy to launder pre-loved clothes that you are going to sell. If it is vintage and you don't think that you could launder it correctly, then don't, but disclose that. This piece has not been cleaned or professionally cleaned, and then point out anything that you can find. I just think it's a professional courtesy to launder the clothes. So that means I do a lot of laundry. That's not even my own. And I have already laundered some of it because I was getting everything ready to go into my bags and everything, and I wanted to make sure that, hey, I had some extra time. Let me get a jump start on this so that I can get it ready for sale. This is Jersey's. I thought this was so sweet. It is a little vintage t-shirt and it says, "Mother is my best friend," and it has these rabbits on it. Easy piece for me to say yes to. Trying to figure out where I'm gonna put everything. Now, unless it is super duper vintage or it is something that is a high value piece, it will go to my Whatnot shows. I do a Monday marathon every Monday, or I try to every Monday, where we do $2 starts on clothes. New attacks, pre-loved, vintage, men's, women's, kids. I go from everywhere from an extra small to a 5X in both women's and men's. And then I do babies all the way up to big kids. And we have a great time. $2 starts on everything. Because here is something I have started to work into my business. If an article of clothing is not going to sell for at least over $20, and then I figure in the shipping, because I do free shipping on all of my items, I don't put it on the platforms because there is so much work that goes into getting a piece of clothing from this to online. So we're talking pictures, we're talking measurements, we're talking looking for any flaw. And in clothing, it's easy to hide those flaws and not see them, especially when you're processing hundreds of pieces of clothes. So it is not, the juice is not worth the squeeze on items that are not going to sell for 20, 25 plus. It's just not worth the time. And that your time can be spent way better doing other things. I send them to my Whatnot, and with $2 starts, a lot of times I'm sourcing clothes and I get them for pennies on the dollar because I'm buying a lot. And in bulk, and a lot of times not looking at the things. So there's a good percentage that I end up throwing away because it's dirty, too stained, too ripped, to this, to that. Then I have another pile that I have for donation. I work with a lot of women's shelters. And if it's just something that I just don't think I want to put in my show, or something that's gone through one of my shows a couple rotations and hasn't sold, I will put it in there. I donate to that. And then when you think about all the time that goes into it, the profit margin is just not there. Pre-loved clothes, or clothes in general, because we have made clothes such a throwaway item. It's hard unless they're special pieces, and I'm just not in the business of selling clothes at a negative to myself, because that profit that's in there is gone by the time you get it online. Oh, and then figure in the fees, the time it takes you to package it and, ship it and all those things. Oh, God forbid you put it on sale. So like, think about those things. Those are all things that resellers have to think about. And it's not just clothes, that's anything. All right, this is Agenda, cute little peasant top. This is vintage cactus, made in the USA. And it is a cute V-neck shirt, and it has this little floral pattern and the bling and the lace. That is really cute. Now, there was quite a few of, I believe these like 3-piece sets. And I think these are handmade, because when you look at them in their construction, I think these were all handmade for this person. So it has the pants that go with it, and then this long tunic top. And I believe that a lot of this is silk. It feels like silk. And then look at this embroidery. I mean, just beautiful. Just insane, beautiful. But yeah, when you look at like the seams and you look at the hems and stuff, it doesn't look machine done. And I could be completely wrong, and that is why I will look these up. And figure it out. But that was the pants, that was the long top, and then it comes with this beautiful, long, wide, I want it like shawl, and it's still that beautiful embroidery. I mean, this is like, really pretty pieces. All right, this piece right here is Colony Club. This is a vintage nightgown. So it has the lace bodice at the top, big or tall empire waist, and then this like seafoam, like ethereal green skirt on it. Vintage nightgowns, vintage intimates can sell for a lot of money. So always look them up. This is beautiful. Heck, I sleep in a t-shirt and shorts. Like, ladies were sleeping in that. Like that, that just gives me like queen vibes. This is a vintage nightgown, or not nightgown, robe. That's the word I was looking for. And it has little lace on the sleeves. Beautiful, beautiful. Another vintage nightgown. Some of these do have tags in them, some don't. And then always with these vintage items, especially like the nightgowns and like some structured like career separates, look on the tag, look on the back of the tag. Some of them are union made. And that is very important to buyers as well. But come here. Little vintage nightgown. It has this really beautiful, it's like pinks and blues, like floral print, but it is like real, like light. Actually, when I first saw it, I was like, uh-oh, is it stained? Because the blue really popped out at me. And then I realized, no, it's the print on the actual body. Oh no, it does look like, okay, here's something I didn't notice. It does have a little rip in the lace right here. Now that might not matter to the buyer, but I always disclose that in the listing. I will take pictures of it. Now, obviously I'll look it up, comp it, make sure it's worth that. And then I always take off a certain percentage for flaws like that. But I take pictures, I point it out, I write it in the description, all the things, because also that protects you as the seller. You're disclosing that there is an issue. You've documented it, you have pictures of it. So if a buyer does buy something, they get it and they go, item not as described. You didn't put in here that it has a rip in it. And then they want to return it for free or just get a refund. You can say, well, it is, I have it in multiple places. It says, there is a flaw with this item. Here's the picture of the flaw here, la, 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 and like, I also built it into my asking price. I took that into mind when I listed it. So just have that ammunition ready. And I call it ammunition. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to be harsh on that as well. I think I'm going to do a video of just recent scams. that are going on eBay, Poshmark, all those places, because there's a lot of scams going around of people buying things and being very deceptive about conditions or things. There's even like people that are creating images with ChatGPT of broken items from a picture of the item you actually sent, and they send it in and say, look, it's broken, when it's actually not. So there's a lot going on. But so I always disclose that and always document it in my listings about any issues. Little cotton sleeveless button down. It has got keyhole lace with little flowers. Should be an easy sell. Lane Ashley. It's a little vintage short sleeve, and it's got beautiful embroidery and sequence on it. I love anything beaded. I love anything embroidered. I love anything with bling. I mean, like, I love that stuff so much. Oh, this is the little robe that goes to that nightgown, the one with a tiny little rip in it. Maybe you can see the pattern a little better here. It's this pink and blue floral print, but it's just so subdued on here, and I think that makes it even prettier because you really are like looking at it, you know. But that is the little robe that goes with that. White Stag. This is a embroidered peasant top. This will go straight to my whatnot. White Stag does not sell very well, doesn't sell for a lot. But they're great, like just basic pieces, and I sell them all the time on my whatnot shows. This is Vintage Quiz. That tag looks like that. I always love showing the tags on vintage items because they're always so cool. But look how precious this is. This was like vacation time. Makes me want to be at the beach. All right, this is Lady Cameo of Dallas. It is a vintage floral robe. Beautiful. All right, I think I have the pants that go to this. I have not pulled out the other piece of this yet. Style & Co. Here we go. Little just ribbed sweater top. That'll go onto my whatnot show. I'm not sure if there's a piece that goes with that. Let's see. All right, vintage folio by Fire Islander. Little pencil skirt in royal blue. Got that like Mad Men kind of look to it. That secretary vibe. All right, this is a black and white tie-dye caftan or house dress. Those sell very well for me. This is a crochet open front top in red. I thought, again, crochet all day long. Easy. All right, and when I was there, they told me that this lady had traveled the world, which obviously I was finding so many pieces from Israel, and there was some stuff from Ireland and Scotland, and this was really pretty, and it says, greetings from Ghana. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this might be, not a stole, but like when you, for graduation. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but it is really pretty. And so I'll have to take a look and see if I can do some research and find out. And with all the technologies we have today, that's the thing. You don't have to be an expert in everything. You can look it up. We have the power of the knowledge of the world in our pocket. So I know a lot of people that have been worried about getting into reselling because they say, I just don't know a lot. I don't know a lot. And when I go out sourcing, I don't know what I'm looking at most of the time. I like it, but I don't know if it's worth it. We have all of the technology in our pocket, and there is no reason that you can't just look it up and make yourself a little bit more knowledgeable on it. And so that opportunity is out there for everyone. Reselling is one of the things I feel like anyone can get into because you can take And you don't have to start out. Actually, one of the ladies I watch on YouTube that I love, Rebecca Allison, she keeps coming up in my videos because she is a wealth of knowledge. She is doing a $5 challenge where she bought one item from Goodwill for $5. And then she flipped that and sold it. She even started I believe she didn't sell it even on her platforms. So, cause she wanted to be like, okay, anybody could do this. So her established platforms, I don't even think she used that. So she started with a $5 item and has now, it's grown to, I think she's in a couple $1,000s from that one $5 item. So there's opportunities everywhere, and it doesn't even have to be a $5 item, guys. People give stuff away for free all the time. You just have to put the effort in to go get it. That's it. So I always say, you can do it. You just have to have the motivation to do it. This is vintage Ricky New York. It is a black nightgown. I love this. I love this neckline. And now it does have some fuzzies on the lace, but a little sweater shaver, and very carefully, you can take a sweater shaver and get those little fuzzies off. I say very, not like I haven't ever done an oopsies and literally destroyed a piece when I have been medieval with a sweater shaver. All right, here we go. I think this is Lady Cameo from Dallas. This one, look, she's so pretty. Black, and then it has this asymmetric hem and slit that has this ruffle, this sheer ruffle to it. So pretty. This is a white stag piece. It is a short sleeve and it has this floral print on it. Again, I thought that would be an easy sale. All right, this one right here is a handmade piece, and it is this ruffly blouse, little button down V-neck, fun pattern. And vintage, this is Vintage Secret Treasures, and it is a little top like that with lace in cheetah. Rawr. And I think this is, white stag. Just Kelly green top with a little keyhole in the front. Easy whatnot sale. These two pieces, I believe, are shawls because I don't think that they had pieces that went with it. This is giant. It is giant. And it is this beautiful maroon color with embroidery. And it is it's 100% pure Malhotra embroidered shawl. So that is really nice that it has a tag. Because a lot of times you don't get that, but we'll have to look that up and see. It feels wonderful. It is really just a wonderful hand feel to it. And then this one right here is a green, beautiful, long shawl, and it is embroidered all over and has this metallic threading going throughout it. Just beautiful pieces. And I am sure we are going to find someone who is going to love these and hopefully wear them because that's what they're supposed to do. You're supposed to go out and wear these items and feel like $1 million in them. Now, okay. Now we move on to the tote. The tote. All right. Here's what I love when you are buying menswear. I do this in my life too, but not quite to this extreme. When a man finds a pair of pants he likes, he buys them, and he buys them in every color, and they're usually in the exact same size. And then sometimes, they'll go up a size or down a size, and then they'll buy the exact same pants all in those sizes. So you'll have a couple of runs of different sizes of the same pants, just different colors. This is Levi's. They are little e Levi's, but they are slacks in Levi's. And they've got stretch to them. Let's see if it'll give us any information that we can read. So Levi's, this is made in the USA. And it is 100% something polyester. So made in the USA, Levi's, 100% polyester. Here it is in gray. I think that was actually the only Wrangler. Or I'm sorry, Levi's, because now we're going to Wrangler. This is Wrangler. Made in the USA, Wrangler, polyester, charcoal, gray. Then you're gonna get the same pair of pants in black. Then you're gonna get the same pair of pants in rust brown. Then you're gonna get the same pair of pants in, oh, it's another pair of black in Wrangler. So that's what I love. And it also makes it really easy to list them because you are literally, you can go down the line, you can batch take these pictures, go in, make one listing, and then all you're gonna do is change out the colors and the pictures, and there you go. So those are easy. This is what I mean about you have to launder everything. This is a piece I have not done. Actually, there's quite a few pieces in the top of this that I have not done. This is a beautiful wool, it's either a rug or it can be a tapestry. I've seen people do both with them. It does have quite a bit of dog hair on it, but I will wash it, I will clean it, and that will be just as new when I'm done with it. This is vintage Jamie Scott. This one does need love. It needs a good sweater shave, but look at this. It is a red cardigan, but look at the buttons. Like it has like 98 buttons on here. But so I thought that was a cute little unique piece. This is vintage Maggie Lawrence. It's another cardigan. This one is in navy blue. And it's got a nautical theme to it. Little pockets, gray piping, or gold piping. Really pretty. And then this one, let me find, because I want to say this had a tag, or has a tag. All right, I'll look for it. But when I saw this, I thought at first it was Pendleton, but it isn't. Here we go. Long, green, plaid, knit, almost like duster length cardigan. Oh, we have another piece of crochet. Oh, this box is a little mixed of stuff. This looks, I think this is this is a shawl, a crochet blue and white shawl. Look at that. She fancy. Oh, LCC, this is a men's pair of polyester pants. Again, I'm sure they are probably the exact same size as those Wranglers and the Levi that are down here. This is a vintage Townhouse, pink knit cardigan. A pair of Wrangler men's jeans. But one thing you do have to be careful with men's jeans is that they wear them until they're dead. Like, they will wear them out. So sometimes you have to be careful of that. Like, look, make sure there's not oil stains, paint stains, ripped, frayed, but like ripped and frayed in like a way that it's like, oh, that doesn't look like it meant, it's meant to be all ripped and frayed and distressed. Like it's just distressed. And it's not gonna be able to come back from it. Oh, I had other things in here other than just clothes. This right here is Tennessee Woolen Mills Master Weavers, Lebanon, Tennessee. And it is a blanket. Now, this one, again, this was not in the best of condition. It has a lot of fuzzies on it, which are probably now all over my black dress, but it probably has fuzzies on it. And then it has, all these little fuzz balls. This will take a while, but I will take a fabric or a fabric shaver to it and it will look like new. That is insane when you take a fabric shaver to something and you're like, it's a sweater that you're like, this looks so terrible, or like a hoodie, and you start fabric shaving it, you're like, wow, this looks like $1 million. Let me see if there's any other clothes in here. Oh yes, okay. Here is a pair of Nike. Now this is vintage Nike men's 2XL little track pants. Those should sell easy. And then I have some more beautiful table runners in here. This is just like that other white one, but this is, or was it might have been the butter yellow one, but it is in this like champagne color. I have got, speaking of yellow, I have got a butter yellow tablecloth, and it has beautiful lace embroidery here at the bottom. Another tablecloth, and this is beautiful lace as well with a ruffle around the edge. This is to hang on the wall, and I thought this was really neat This is where you're supposed to put letters, bills, and miscellaneous, and it has like little fruit on it. I just thought this was, again, another like little unique piece that you can't just, you know, they don't just run to the store and buy these anymore. Somebody handmade this. And pillows. I usually have another thing that I almost have a fast and strong rule about, where I do not do bedding. I don't do bed linen, I don't do comforters, I don't do mattresses, and I don't do pillows. But I make some special exceptions. These are hand embroidered pillow shams. And I think there's actually another one underneath here. But I hadn't started taking this pillow apart yet. But oh gosh, there is. It is like a surprise. We have this beautiful embroidered one. There is another beautiful embroidered one underneath it. But unfortunately, this one is very yellowed. I might be able to do like a boiling OxyClean bath on it, and it might come out. Let's see if there's another layer. No, there's not. I was gonna say, maybe there's another embroidered one underneath here. Oh my gosh, what? Now that is a cool surprise, but we'll have to see if it's gonna come clean, because it might not. These ones on the top, this embroidered one is, let's see if there's another embroidered one under this. There are stains on it, but I think because this is like a cotton, the stains might come out of it easily. It's like this polyester, oh gosh, look at this one. This is, oh, I have it upside down and it's even so pretty. It's flowers in a vase. But again, very, very yellowed. Okay, I'm gonna try my best to get these clean. But like this like polyester-y kind of blends that they use, I feel like that's so much harder to get any of that like aging stain out of. Oh my gosh, those are beautiful. Oh, the surprise, that's such a, it's surprising and it's cool. All right, so they also had these hand embroidered napkins. I picked every single one of them up that I could find. And I think when I looked at these napkins, most of them looked pretty good. I mean, maybe some like little kind of things here and there, but I'll clean those and see what I can do if there are any issues. Little lace doily, again, so cute, easy sales. Now, I think, is this cross stitch? Yes, this is cross stitch. It is a napkin, has these beautiful flowers on it. And now this one, I did pick this one up because I have a friend that collects like geese. Because you're gonna have a friend that collects everything. When you get into reselling, and then you'll start seeing it everywhere, and then you get all the things for them. This one is seen way better days. There are some stains on it, but I wanted to see if I could clean it because this is just so sweet and beautiful. And I think she would love it if I could get it clean. All right, guys, we're gonna finish out the clothes. Let's finish out strong. This bag on the floor, this big, big, giant bag. This is another tool of things that I keep in my truck. This is actually supposed to go on top of like a roof rack. It's a cargo carrier, but it's a big, giant waterproof bag. This thing, while it can get heavy and unmanageable, priceless in my business because I will be out somewhere, I will find some clothing haul or something that I want to pick up, and in the back of my truck, I swear, it's like rockets. I mean, like, sorry, it's like, it's inevitable. Every time I get something and put it in the back of my truck, it will rain that day. Like, there will not be a cloud in the sky. And I will put something in the back of my truck, it will rain that day. So that's just how my life goes, and you just gotta just be prepared for it. So I got this giant bag. It's waterproof. It has 1,000 buckles. It has all kinds of handles on it and stuff, and it's giant. Because when I go, I usually do take-alls, so I need something big. And contractor bags are something I use a lot of, but they can be very unreliable because if you don't get them tied completely tight, and the way that it is tied, it's not just leaking into the bag, things can get ruined in those contractor bags too if you're not careful. So this has been worth its weight in gold. So guys, like I said earlier, I might rip through a lot of these really fast because they are just, it's items that are going to go in my whatnot show. I'm just going to value them at $2 a piece, and that's going to be what it is. I might sell some for more, great, but it just gives you an idea. We're not doing science here. We're not trying to get really specific. Just going to give you an idea. So nice thing is that I literally can go to these closets in these estate sales and basically go, like, look at a few of the pieces and go, I'll take all of them. Because I know there is going to be some really great pieces, and then there's going to be just some filler, and then, you know, you get down to the things that you just can't sell or donate. But I found so many great pieces at this sale. So starting off, I've got Van Heusen button down. These are all going to be kind of like your $2 shirts that I'm going to value them at. This is Dockers, little mini check. This is Liz Claiborne. Puritan wrinkle resist. Again, every guy loves to have a flannel. Puritan, really pretty. This has got like bass on it. This is a Monzi collection made in the USA. This is Port Authority, but this has a Ford logo on it. That should be a real easy sale to a car guy. This is Tommy Hilfiger sweater. And then this is Mardi Gras, and in the Arklatex, this is Mardi Gras, does it give me the year? 1992. Some of these Mardi Gras crew shirts can be worth a ton, and old vintage Mardi Gras beads can be very valuable. So I grabbed that. If there's no gambling in heaven, I'm not going. This is Chaps, done in collab with Ralph Lauren. Pierre Cardin, another Puritan kind of Hawaiian shirt. Pierre Cardin. This is Siegfried, little knit polo. This is Crop and Borrow, easy, just button down shirt. This is Consensus. This is a polyester, but it has that like microfiber suede feel. Jamaica Jacks. Now this is 100% silk shirt. Some of these Hawaiian shirts can be very valuable. Always look them up. Pierre Cardin with hibiscus on them, or as my best friend would say, hibiscuit. Puritan Hawaiian shirt. This is Steve and Barry's Hawaiian shirt. Puritan Hawaiian shirt. And Back East Hawaiian shirt. So we have got you covered if you like Hawaiian shirts, or if you just like to party. This is a Puritan. It's got sailboats or schooners all over it. Ivy Crew button down. This is Campia Moda. It is a vintage Hawaiian shirt. Murano button down. This says All American, No Limit, Texas Hold'em Poker Champion. So that is a pretty neat shirt. Jeffrey Bean, Van Heusen, and another Van Heusen. And guys, I think we may have gotten some interesting things. I told you there was some bulk. Then we're gonna get into some more interesting things. This is Vintage Rustler Pearl Snap. Vintage Wrangler. Look at this, pearl snap, and it has bulls as the graphic. This is gonna be a good one. This one right here, guys. This like Aztec Navajo print. It was not cool when I was a kid and I wore it, and I was not a cool kid based on everybody else's experience of me, but it has come back with a vengeance. So everybody's now collecting it. This is Frontier Series. This is a vintage button down. Look at that print. And then this is club shirt, Steve & Barry's, and it's got very Vegas gaming theme to it. Here we go, guys. I love this stuff. This is vintage Eli. Western wear, button down, or rockabilly. It kind of goes both, but it has flame embroidery, pearl snap. Eli again with the flames and pearl snap. This one does have a little bit of staining to it. I might be able to get that out. I went ahead and grabbed it. I knew it when I picked this one up. This is Express Rider, and it has the barbed wire embroidery. How cool is that? All right, very vintage Wrangler. Beautiful, beautiful button down. And this is more of like that 100% cotton pearl snap. And then this one, it has that very worn in feel. Like this was a work shirt. Or it's like when you buy those barn coats and you can just, you know that they have been worn and used, and you feel like, you know, if this shirt could talk, the stories it could tell. Eli, vintage. It is a pearl snap and has beautiful floral embroidery on it. Could be Western wear, could be rockabilly, it could be, I mean, retro. It's so awesome. Then looks like we are going into some of our just regular price shirts. This is Bruno, a very nice button down. All right, I'm telling you, when people deal with, when you go to buys, and it's someone like me, and I go in there and they're not really used to bulk buyers. I literally go to the closet and I just start like taking out like, you know, 20 pieces at a time and putting them in a pile. And they're like, oh my gosh, you're gonna buy all of that? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna buy actually the whole closet. And they're like, oh my, like, you can see that like a weight is lifted because they know someone like me is gonna go find that next person who's going to love that item, and they get to offload that whole closet to one person. They're not having to deal with people come in, they're looking for their size, or they're gonna nickel and dime them on everything, or go, well, this one has a stain, or whatever. They get to just unload it all to one person. And that's all they have to deal with, and then it's done. It's like that closet, done. So I love doing that. And I get great pieces, and I love it. This is Vintage Dockers. This is Hager, another just, you know, plaid button down. Pronto Umo. Van Heusen, Puritan Hawaiian shirt. This is J. Farrar, and then, how cool is this? This is a Sport Truck Expo Trade Fair participant. This has got BF Goodrich in it, Dodge. Again, I think this is gonna sell really easy to a car guy. All right, there is, I think, some women's things mixed in here a little bit, because it kind of all came from the kind of the same closet. But so this, they were trying to tell me something about this. Hand weaving workshop for the blind, Women's League of Israel. It is a woven dress, and does look like it was made by a hand weaving workshop for the blind. So that is really cool. It's really pretty. It's got metallic thread in it. Really, really nice. So we'll have to look that up. That's not something I have seen before. This is an apron, and it's got beautiful embroidery on it, and has this beautiful embroidery at the hem. It's got a scalloped hem. So precious. Couldn't leave that one behind. Now, back to men's. Vintage Eli Cattleman Pearl Snap. Vintage Eli Cattleman Pearl Snap. Like, men, when they figure something they like, they literally will stick with that manufacturer and buy it in every color, and I love them for it. This is Taylor G, Dallas, Texas. I thought, what a unique piece. This is a women's top. It's got all this like tapestry and lace, and this has got velvet on it and denim. I mean, it's super cool. This is Vintage Panhandle Slim, and it has this like almost like baseball stitching look to it. Pearl snap. And vintage Levi's denim shirt. Vintage Eli pearl snap. Something came off the hanger, so I'll have to figure out what that was. This is vintage Eli pearl snap with big embroidered stripes on it. Another company that's having a huge comeback, Abercrombie & Fitch. This is a vintage plaid long sleeve by Abercrombie & Fitch. They're having like huge, anything Y2K, Abercrombie, like it literally is just, people are eating it up. Another piece that I was not leaving this sale without. Look, it blows my mind. It is handmade. It is embroidered. Actually, I think this is cross stitch. or needlepoint. I don't know, but it is beautiful. Look at this. I mean, hello. I might end up keeping this one for myself. This has got it's got the Stevie Nicks vibe to it, and I love it. I might have to keep this, but I'm gonna look it up because it does not have any tags. It looks handmade when you look at the stitching of the actual garment itself. So I need to look this up and see if I can even figure out like who made it, when, was it ever mass manufactured? Because, you know, maybe that's just the way it looks, because, you know, you never know. If I would have bought this separately, this would have been a bad buy. This is a Texas A&M Letterman jacket, and it looked great until I started really looking at it. It has got tears in the shoulders, and then it had there's tears here in the back. There's, I think there was another one on this side too. But all you need to know is that there's tears in the actual garment, and these are ones, it's very hard to fix these. Now you can get like bonded them together, but it will never be the same. But I still think that I can sell this. So there is so many Texas A&M fans, and this is an older Texas A&M, and a lot of people love Letterman jackets. So I think this could still do well. Again, I will research it. I will figure out what's going on with it. And then I will, if it is worth it, I will disclose. Because there are still people that will either buy this and fix it, or they'll buy it and then they'll cut out the embroidery parts, and then they will reuse it for something else, repurpose it. This is Vintage Wintertime by Herman K. Little Wool Peacoat. And again, guys, I know this is a long video. I know. I was at this sale for probably 4 hours, 5 hours digging by myself. So there were a lot of items, and this was a good sale. So it wasn't like I was digging and not finding anything. Because at some point, if that was happening, I would have given up and said, I'm moving on to the next thing, because I actually had 2 sales I was going to go to that day if the first one didn't work out. I never made it to the second one. And I was okay with that because I was finding such good stuff. All right, Vintage Wrangler. It is a button down, and it has the sweetest little horse embroidered on here. That'll be an easy sale. This is Vintage Ralph Lauren. Little black and white mini check. Really nice. This is a Brooks Brothers. Now, Brooks Brothers is a brand that kind of goes up and down for me. The retail is really high. The resale is not. And that's one of those brands that I feel like when you go to some of these sales, they can be really unrealistic about their pricing, and which is fine. You can ask whatever you want, but I'm not going to be able to buy it. Like Brooks Brothers, it does not resell on the resale market for a lot, depending on the item. Now, yes, there's going to be those certain garments that are going to sell for lots, and that's great. These woven shirts usually don't do big money. But I'll still grab them because they're great shirts and people buy them and love them, wear them, and they're very quality shirts. Another brand like that, FootJoy. Like, you know, and you can also see it now with like the Lululemon. Yeah, when you buy it at the store, it is a lot full price. Resale, not that great anymore. So it's just, that's how it works. And then just be aware of that when you are at these sales and they've cherry picked out items and the items seem, you're like, oh, that is a really nice brand. But then just go and comp it, because make sure you're getting a good deal if your plans are to resell it. Now, if you're buying it for yourself, then whatever you're comfortable paying for it, then great. No one is gonna care because it's for you. But if you're trying to resell it, you have to think about that all the time. This one, Vintage Plains Pearl Snap. This one's really nice because it's just black. And it doesn't have any, you know, fancy schmancy pizzazz to it. So it does appeal to a lot of different people. All right, this one right here, again, Vintage Wrangler Pearl Snap. You're gonna get tired of me hearing me say that, but I will never get tired of saying it. Because that is all just money. All right, this is Vintage Plains Pearl Snap with a really fun stripe to it. The brand is called Vintage. It's not vintage, but how cool is this? leather jacket with the fringe. It always makes me think of Dumb and Dumber, where he has the gloves with the fringe, and I just recently picked up a pair for myself. I just think they're amazing. But this is a great jacket, really good condition. Always check that too. Leather usually does really well, but sometimes, depending on how it's stored, it can get really just, I call it roachy. But that one is in very good condition. This is vintage Max Sport denim jacket. And this is George Strait. Now, it does have some yelling around the collar, but I did pick it up because it has these diamond snaps to it. I just thought that was fancy. And then I saved the best for last. Guys, this is the very last shirt that's in here. Best for last. This is Vintage Express Riders Western wear shirt. It is a button down. Look at the horse pattern on the sleeves, and it has got that Aztec pattern, probably a late 80s, 90s shirt. Guys, this stuff is so collectible now. And I remember going through high school, I was the loser kid. I was that barn kid. I had horses. I wore horse things, and I was that loser kid. And now it is so freaking popular. But the cool thing is that like I was that loser kid, but now those bullies that I had, I'm selling them shirts like this for good money. So who's a loser now, right? So guys, that is the end of the second part of this haul. So think about it. The first part, the second part, that was all the things I got from this one estate sale. And just as a reminder, I got to pre-shop it just because I asked nicely. I just asked, because if you don't ask, the answer is always no. And the lady was wonderful, and they had a great story about their family that lived in the house and all of these items, and I love cherishing those memories, and these items now will go to the next collector who will love and cherish those items instead of just being thrown into the landfill, like that happens a lot. So guys, if you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, go ahead and just scroll on by. There's so much other stuff you can watch on YouTube, I promise. And guys, please go ahead and interact with these videos. It really helps the algorithm so other people can find us and we can get more and more viewers, and I can keep bringing you all this content. So like, subscribe, share, leave me a comment down here. Maybe leave me a comment and let me know that you watched both of the parts of this episode. I mean, because this is long. Or leave me a comment. What was your favorite item out of all of these items? I already know my first was the staircase trinket shelf. The second is the one with the really thin spindles trinket shelf. Those are my two favorites. But I mean, it's like your children. How do you pick a favorite out of all of this cool stuff? So guys, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate y'all more than I can say, and I'll see you in the next one.